they go. This is what they want. That was not smoothly done, ladies and gentlemen. I will be the first to admit that was not smoothly done. I pressed the wrong button and I couldn't work out why I wasn't on screen. Well, I'm always curious why I'm not on all screens at all times. That would make a lot of sense to me because I think the world would just be a better place for such a thing happening. Good evening, good morning. I hope you're well. I haven't really checked out the news much over the last 24 hours. I've been offline. But it seems pretty quiet, right? It seems like nothing's really gone down. The world's still here. Do I need sweetener or do I need to stir? Right, that's the sweetener or stir, sir. Chicken or blowjob, sir? Chicken or blowjob? Ooh. I guess I'll have the blowjob, please. That chicken does look nicer. I am, of course, referencing I don't know the name of them. They were both in Doctor Who at different times. Oh god, it's the worst episode. It's not Jodie bad, but what's that one? Christmas special with the caretaker. Oh, that was a piece of shit. Oh, that really was a piece of shit. Yeah, that was the Matt Smith era gone wrong, right? Yeah, it was like anyway, the guy who played the pilot in that, and that's the other one, Ben Miller. No, Ben Miller was in Primeval, and I quite liked him in Primeval, I have to tell you. Sweetener is good. So I'm in a bit of a weird realm right now, ladies and gentlemen. I have to tell you, I'm in a bit of a weird realm. My good lady wife, she is in America right now, right? She's in St. Louis, right? She's in St. Louis right now. Do you ever see that show, Defiance, set in St. Louis? Quite like that show, right? That show is only watchable for Tony Curran, right? He's freaking awesome. And he has a very, very hot wife in it, right? Who's naked most of the time in a bath, right? But even so, and she's very hot, and she is naked, and she's in a bath, right? All this works for me, right? Don't get me wrong. Even so, Tony Curran is even better, right? He's the guy who played Van Gogh. He was supposed to play John Lennon in a 3D remake of Yellow Submarine, right? What's it? Robert Zemeckis was going to make it, but when Mars Needs Mums tanked, they yanked the funding for it. It was a tragedy, right? That is a movie I think you would have to see very, very high. I mean, that's just the way it works, isn't it? A 3D, remake of Yellow Submarine. Yes, I'll have a bit of that, please, sir. But that tripping balls is probably quite good. I would surmise. I don't know. I've never done such a thing. I'm really fascinated by these 3D holograms. Something, what was it? ABBA on Dan's podcast. Let's invite Dan over. See if he's going to come. She cried. Hang on. On Dan's podcast about no, it was what's his name? It was on Dan's podcast about 2-3 weeks ago. He was talking about going to see ABBA, but this ABBA show, where it was essentially holograms of them or something like that. Sounded incredible, right? Sounded incredible. Okay, one second. Let me send the message. Hey there. No, let's try that again. And I spelled hey there. Hey there. I put an R in it. That's not good. Hey there. Streaming right now. If you're free, gov. Just capitalize the gov. And wanna join, comma, ... Here the link. Doink. Execute. Dun. There you go. Programming as it happens. So I don't know if it's going to see that, but let's find out. Anyway, I digress. My wife, she's gone for a week, and she's going to be gone for another 2 weeks. So this is the first Sabbath we spent apart. So it's weird for me because I'm in, Mutzash. I'm in like the after Sabbath thing, right? Whereas she is currently within the phantom zone of the Sabbath, right? So we can't call each other, which is really weird. So it's a very, I mean, like, not that we do call each other, but we like to be able to, right? That's a kind of we feel that's a boon. So it was weird her not being here. So last night, I invited the neighbors over to say, "Look, do you want to like have dinner with us? We normally have like that. It's just going to be me and my daughter, which was really creepy, right? But then my son turned up, right? He was in the army for a week. They have to do like this weekly this annual army service for a week after they finished. And he said it was a nightmare. Right, it was a nightmare. So he came home and he stayed home for Sabbath. So it would have been thrown. Anyway, I invited the neighbors. They made soup. Right, the traditional Friday night is chicken soup. Everybody, Jews everywhere. I mean, like Ashkenazi Jews, the Western European Jews. We all have the chicken soup. Everybody has the chicken soup Friday night. That is a thing. Some have matzo balls. Which are very good. They call them kanedluch, right? Now, if you get lucky, you also get the krapluch. The krapluch, that's where it's at, baby. Krapluch is basically a little like a ravioli, like a little bit more ravioli, but it looks a bit more like a scrotum, right? Small little things, and then they're in the soup as well if you're lucky. Very rarely. Also lokshin, which is like pasta, like spaghetti. And then very rare and freaking awesome. It's going to sound gross to you. It's awesome. It's old school. It's genuinely old school. You can get eggs out from a chicken when you kill it and take it apart, slaughter it. That's what I'm talking about, right? There's eggs inside there that haven't like hatched yet, right? They're awesome. Okay, those fried with onions are very good, but those in the soup, freaking awesome, right? They're hard to get nowadays because like modern day butchers, in supermarkets and stuff, they have this like vacuum that sucks out the chicken, right? You don't have like it doesn't. You got to find an old school person. Oh, they're good though. They are good. So anyway, my neighbor made the soup. So I didn't know her husband's away, right? So I had no idea. So she thought I was being altruistic. I was being selfish. No. Don't get me wrong. At all. And she made this firstly soup, which was for good because I didn't want to make soup. She made this like awesome little healthy banana muffins. They're freaking awesome. Oh, I did enjoy those a lot. Then that wasn't expected. And then we were just going to make the normal Friday night. Friday night is like some kind of roast chicken, roast potatoes, peas. Right? That's your traditional Friday night after the soup. You have this challah first, this bread, this nice doughy bread first, and some wine. It's called kiddush. But basically it's a soup. But then I found in the freezer, right? We had from about a month ago turkey and stuffing, right? And the kids will never eat it, and it was fantastic, right? But the kids would just never eat it. They're like, oh, it's leftovers, right? But my neighbors were like, oh my god, turkey and stuffing, we've lucked out, right? So all I do is heat that up. I made fresh potatoes because and peas, obviously. I am a civilized gentleman. So they came, but it was good because like Sabbath comes in so early now, right? We finished dinner. It was like 8 o'clock. I was ready for bed, but we stayed. We had a lot to talk about, right? It was nice chatting. And today I went out to friends, which that really like just broke up the day. 1 second. I got this out the corner of my eye. And DC is saying, I called Mr. Tarnas a left-wing Alex Jones, and he asked me what he said when he said something that would make him that. Then I linked his Twitter and got him, and the comment got deleted. Okay, well, that's right. It's kind of like, it's funny. There's this bit in Strontium Dog, right, in 2000 AD, where it's about the origins of Johnny Alpha, right? And his father was Kreeler, the anti-mutant hate merchant, right? Hitler, basically, and at the end of it said, his special forces was dissolved. You see like a line of people, right? The special hit, and it was replaced by the new, more Justice for All squad or whatever, and it's exactly the same people, right? So I see that happening in fandom somewhat, right? It's they're all going to complain. They're just going to act like they weren't fascists for years, right? They're just going to act like they weren't the worst human beings possible for years. They're going to pretend all the sex scandals didn't happen. What can you do? People? That's one of the things we're talking about. People can't own up, right? On Friday night, just people can't own up, and they would do anything rather than own up. They would do anything rather than admit they're wrong because they're pussies. Anyway, let me get first. Let me put my I got a lot of thumbnails. I've got a lot of stuff to get to. We got to do that. I did that. I'll put that up there. That's coming up. We got that. Oh, that's one. That's tomorrow, I believe. All right, and that was yesterday, but it's a very good piece of Photoshop. I'll show this one up as well. What the hey? Let's hit that. Try that again. It's not good when you laugh at your own thumbnails. When you say like, "Oh, that's good." There you go. Where's it? Where am I? I'm in the wrong place. Yeah, we got this. This one thing we have to go over tonight. This is crazy. This I think is genuinely insane, right? Well, I'm going to do the review of SFX magazine, but the cover article is Willow. It was like 10 years ago. The idea of there being a Willow 2 was a piss take. By what's his name? The guy starring in it. God bless him. I mean, I'm glad he's got the money. Take the money and run, baby. I can't remember what his bloody name is. But it was literally a joke in Life's Too Short. Right? It was literally a joke running through it. But okay. Just finished listening to this. Very good. I really, really like this one, right? This was good. This is a recommend. I mean, if you like the Third Doctor, right? It's a very authentic last season Third Doctor story, right? It really feels ripped out of that time. Perfect, right? I would say perfect to a great extent. It really fired on all cylinders. I very much like this, right? We got this stuff. I had to reuse the sex doll Jodie thing. I saved that for years, right? Because it's you got to bring that out. Now I assumed we're done with Jodie. I assumed they're like, okay, no more. That's it. I mean, got an article or two going, but basically, I just saw we got a whole new draft of bullshit article. Will you fuck off with Jodie? Right? I don't want to be talking about fucking Jodie anymore. I'm a Doctor Who channel. All right? This is not about fucking Jodie. Will you piss off? Been a dark shadow over, Doctor Who fans' lives for 5 fucking years. Fuck off with her. She's gone. She failed. She's gone. She's David Tennant now. Ooh, David Tennant. We're going to look at the Avatar 2 trailer. We're going to, again, review SFX magazine. And we're going to take we're going to look at the news, right? We're going to see what's gone down, right, in the world. What's going down in the geeky nerdom world. Don't go back. There you go. So we got that. This is I'm putting out tonight after this. It's from my last stream. I think it's going to be awesome, right? I think it's going to be awesome. Everything we know right now about the future of Doctor Who. I want to look at the Radio Times article about the Disney deal, right? I haven't looked at that yet. And it's going to get. By the way, I forgot to look at the caption. A penny for the guy, sir. She's not even worth that. Penny for the guy, sir. She's not even worth that. I don't know why he became Cockney, but you know what? That's just the way it is. Everything we know about the future of Doctor Who. Guys, you're also depressive, right? Look on the bright side, mate. Right? Honestly, the age of woke is over. And that's just the economic reality of it, right? It's not economically viable. Right now, David Zaslav is doing a hard handbrake on all woke shit, right? On everything. The only reason he hasn't got the DC comic shit is because they're too fucking small, right? Yeah, and so here's the thing: they're going to get the entirety of the market share. That's the thing. That's just what's going to happen. People don't want woke shit, right? And there was a study. We're going to look at that story as well tonight. A study that people would rather watch a fake, a non-woke show, problematic show than a woke show, right? It's incredible. Than a real one. It's like it's not economically viable. Right, that's the point we've gotten to in life. It's not economically viable to platform your bullshit constantly. It's not economically viable. That's the basic bottom line. So it's over, right? I did. It is over, baby. Right, it's over, Johnny. But no, it's it's not viable for Disney or anybody to no one's going to watch it. They're just going to go to watch the non-woke DC stuff, right? DC movies are about to get a major resurgence. I think hiring James Gunn was a brilliant move, right? I'm like, we're going to see the Marvel universe die and the DC universe fly, right? It's going to soar because they know their assets and there's no politics with it. Right, and he's very, very, woke. But James Gunn, God bless him. I've got a lot of respect for him. I'd love to talk to him about his views that differ from mine. But I think he seems to be a human being that could discuss it. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't think any of them really can, quite frankly. Yeah, there's a reason they insist on censorship over debate because they can't stand up to any debate they know. Like I just saw this other thing about election. Like they're all scared that election deniers are going to be elected in America, which they are this Tuesday, right? They absolutely are. Listen, mate. Anybody saying that? How open are you to like examining your beliefs how open are you to being believing that you could be wrong about your beliefs, right? Do you have any opening whatsoever? And they say, well, of course not, but all the facts are with me, right? All the facts, it's just factual. He said, but I don't think you've heard their facts because, that's you can't answer them. I'll say, let them present their facts and you can just debunk it, but they can't do that. They can't do that and they won't do that, right? Look, they've just been ordered to shave $100 million off the budget of CNN. It's over, right? It's over. Thank God, right? So I think we have some hope for the future of James Bond. How one of the best Bond movies of all time was nearly awful. James Bond, Sonny, that would have been a bad idea to have Roger Moore playing Kincaid in what's it called again? Not Casino Royale. What was it? Skyfall, right? Play Kincaid in Skyfall. But instead of playing Kincaid, it's revealed that James Bond is just a code name. I'm like, fuck off. No, he's James Bond. Right? So that would have been a bad idea, right? That would have been a bad idea. Not quite as bad as the idea of the person who wrote this insanely stupid article, right? Which I spent a long time shouting at last live stream. I just got Illuminations, this new short story book, and I read the first story. I'm enjoying it tremendously. I have to say, I'm enjoying it tremendously. It's a bit too intelligent for me. I had to stop and reread the first few pages again, right? Of a 20-page story. But once you get into the rhythm of it, see, that's the thing. He writes in, how can I explain it? He uses narrative as language. It's very clever. It's very clever, but you have to learn the language of the narrative, right, to be able to access it. I think because I always give a lot of plaudits to Alan Moore. I really do. People say I'm like, a little bit too subservient. Maybe I am. Maybe I am. I don't think he's a very, 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 very clever man, right? I don't agree with him on everything. I would love to discuss his whole attitude to other people working on his creations, right? Which is, a relatively normative thing, but I think he was fucked over left, right, and center, right, by the comic book world, and he just wants to leave it alone. He wants to be a writer. Like, I'm a writer now. Like, and so he sees these pieces of shit that are made out of his brilliant work, right? And he says, this is just embarrassing to me. And it is. This is embarrassing to me. And it is embarrassing to him. Oh, your piece of shit, racial nonsense that was like so racist in of itself, right? Is so far beneath contempt. It's disgusting, right? And to put it in the same breath of like works of sheer brilliance, which I think Watchmen was, right? Yeah, I think he's moved on greatly from there. But oh, fuck off. I mean, really, I gotta waste time talking about this. You're a moron. You notice when you walk, there's this like weird grooves in the ground, on either side of you. That's your knuckles dragging, right? That's what's going on. Here's what you do. May I suggest? Put your hands like this. Put your hands like this and go, whoa! Like this. Whoa! Right? What's that doing? That's getting your head out your ass, baby. That's what you got to do. Right? So I'm here to help you. Idiot web journalist tells Alan Moore he's a silly old waitist because he thought HBO's Watchmen was embarrassing trash. It was embarrassing trash. What do you want out of me? Yesterday's video had this, may I say, fantastic thumbnail. Right, absolutely fantastic thumbnail. I mean, that's the dog's bollocks, mate. I have to tell you, that is a dog's bollocks. I did such a good fucking job on that, right? I am so genuinely chuffed with myself, as you can probably hear. Now that's of course was a Photoshop mock-up of it, but yeah, look, this is my theory, okay. I think it's a strong bloody theory, right? I'm almost convinced this is going to be a cliffhanger, right? I'm almost convinced this is going to be a cliffhanger. Tomorrow's video though is this: what culture tries to make sense of the power of the Doctor and accidentally writes a much better script? Basically, the article, the guy goes, "Wait a minute, this is all just unintelligible drivel." It is. It is unintelligible drivel, right? It is unintelligible. And I had this video came out a couple of days ago. I just like the thumbnail, right? Show media now hates everything to do with about Chris Chibnall. Chris Chibnall's Doctor Who, including Sylvester McCoy, Gordon Bennett. Now we're saying we was crap too, Professor. Yes. Let's get it. Let's get the it's probably the last time on the screen, Sex Doll Jodie. But why is there more fucking Jodie stories coming out? Stop fuck off with your Jodie shit. Yeah, let me do a little search over it. 1 second. Doink. I'll tell you, my new computer is so freaking good. Man, I had another browser open. I didn't even freaking know, right? I did not even know. Screen Rant keeps writing articles about. Leave her alone, right? Oh, God. 1 second. Doink. Tegan's Doctor Who anger makes no sense. Fuck off! It's not even Doctor fucking Who. Will you stop? It's over. 10 scariest things the Doctor done on Reddit. Couldn't give a shit. It's only Reddit. Power of Doctor misses biggest pretender carry out. Yeah, well, I know. Then I'm Tom Bacon. Okay, fine. So it's only that. But I thought there was more. 1 second. There seems to be a whole lot more Jodie stuff. Jodie! Oh, you thump. Explanation of a traitorous Dalek. We're never going to do it. Like, resolute. Like, why? How long is this article? That's crazy. What? They go over the script of Power of the Doctor. We might have to look at that. David Tennant was not originally in Power of the Doctor. The Doctor does not appear in the final thing. It ends with "to be continued." Chibnall didn't know Doctor Who was renewed. Fuck you. Truth is out, baby. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, okay. Fine. That I got to do a news video tomorrow, right? Okay. What's there going to be in the news video tomorrow? Because that's certainly in there. Let's have a look at this one then. Maybe we'll look at that as well. I don't know. I mean, Trader's Dalek story, I'm not really that into. There's that one. Okay, we got a lot to look at. Oh, I'm so like, will you shut up, Yasmin Finney, about how groundbreaking it is that you're on Doctor Who? It's not. Oh, for God's sake, it's not going to change the world, right? Right? Most people are going to have binary sex, right? Most people are going to be boys or girls, right? How long does this go on for? Well, it goes on for a while. Blimey. Fine. I guess I'll just do a video tomorrow, like, because I'll push off my one I was going to do tomorrow. It's kind of like evergreen, right? And I'll go over. I'll just do like these news stories. They all seem familiar. They all seem talk aboutable, right? They all seem somewhat interesting. Yeah, okay. We got this one also. I want to go over as well, but it's so long. Like a whole thing about the Jodie Whittaker era. But fine. Let's get to the. But it reminds me, by the way, I had a bit of a breakthrough over the Sabbath, right? I finally worked out what I'm doing with my short story for Dr. Alex, right? Dr. Alex is a very good channel, but I do recommend it. Bollocks. Oh no, I do have a minute. There you go. Here we are. Okay, so Dr. Alex has written these awesome books, right? These really genuinely awesome books. There's season 12 and season 13, right? They're go to his channel. He has them as books and tapes for free on his channel, and they're really good, right? They're really genuinely fun, right? I really recommend. Plus, they're well written. I liked it. It takes a Capaldi Doctor with a different flavor, and it takes into account the Jodie Whittaker years and kind of sidesteps it, right, in a very clever way, I think. But the writing of it, I think, is very solid. So the first book he does is was it season 13? Is it season 12? I can't remember. And then the next one was season. What was that one? That's the second one, isn't it? So the first one was season 12. The second one was season 13, right? So the first one was like it was like a traditional Russell T Davies arc. Each chapter was a story, right? And so the second one, same thing, but it was one continuing story because it was trying to do what Chris Chibnall did with Flux, but do it good, do it goodly, right? So that's me. So I had already written the opening. I knew what the opening was, and I had a basic core of what I wanted to do, right? Because I really like this Capaldi Doctor. I really love the Capaldi Doctor. So you got to start off with asking yourself, what do you want to talk about, right? What do you want to talk about? And I think it was like the real primal nature of what friendship is, what connection between friendship is. It's and how it goes beyond far deeper than I think we do. So I basically imagined it as two people who who knew each other that survived the concentration camp, right? And they met up years later, right? And that was the bonds that they have, right? Because they're happy each other's alive, because they're the only bits of each other's past. And so I figured that would be the kind of feeling it would be if once the Doctor meets up with the meddling monk once again after they were erased during the Time War, right? So I think there's going to be like, there's a lot of emotion wrapped around that. So that's the basic core of what I wanted the story to be about. But I wanted it to be really fun, right? So I had the first bit. It's essentially this: the War Doctor shows up and says, "I've broken up the book from Sharda into like 3 bits, right? And I scattered them through time and space." that and left them to the far future. I think it's time now. The Time War's over. I set this for like after several millennia after Time War. Can you take care of it? Right, it's the Capaldi Doctor. So the first, so I wanted to leave a lot of fun. So the first part, right, of it, which I've written, I've just thought what the ending of this part would be. Though I'm going to do a little change. Is he's essentially using a discarded force of quarks, right? That he's hacked into to attack an Osiris pyramid, which has this third of the book in it, right? And it's him, K9, and Romana, and like this, he's like, so he's got like the half head of a quark, right? And it's like hot wiring it with a sonic screwdriver, but he's able to give them commands. So you get commanding Capaldi guy say destruct absolute, right? And then that would just be so cool, like a whole army of quarks like attacking Osiris, right? Yeah, the mummies. So basically they get in, and I just thought the ending of it now. I was going to have the meddling monk, as played by Matt Berry, step in and say, "Oh, too slow, old boy," and like grab the third of the book. Head out. But then I've realized, okay, a much better way to introduce him. He's an Osiris. He's a mummy next to the book that the MacGuffin they came in to get, right? And as they're coming up there, he like turns around and pulls the head off, and it's like Matt Berry smiling and said, "Touche, old boy." And he grabs the book and gets into his TARDIS and flies away, right? And Capaldi's going, "Monk." Yeah, that was basically, it was basically started as a pre-title sequence, but it's actually I think it went longer than that. So I mean, so I haven't known where to go from there, right? And I think, and I basically worked it out. I thought, in keeping with the spirit of the rest of the season's books, I should try and emulate and do the same thing, which is, Dr. Alex often tries to do what the Christian does, but do it in a way that would really work, right? So I've realized now I'm going to take this beginning and I'm going to try and do what he tried to do with Power of the Doctor or Flux, right? Which is very big, bombastic storytelling, right? But instead of being, I think, vacant and empty, which is really what it was, and it's not just Whittaker's performance. It's like there was no time for anybody to really build up. Like there was no understanding for why Vinder was back, really, and like what they like. What was it? It was never really clearly. Most things were not really clearly explained, right? And it seemed hollow, right? So I wanted to do something with that bombastic thing, but work. So therefore, I thought, I wanted to have the next bit. Like basically, they go from like break-in, big budget break-ins, like Ocean's 11 style Sting to Ocean 11 style Sting. So I was thinking of doing some kind of like some kind of train in space, right? Just exactly like they did from. But I got to make it work better, or come up with something different. But I like the idea of that. They're both like raiding this like heart. Basically, again, it's like Ocean's 11 with Doctor Who, right? Like maybe raiding some casino or something. But I like the idea of it being in motion as it goes, right? So that we'd have to work something out with that. But I'll have the Doctor. But I like the idea of K9 on the outside of space, so like going along the outside of the train or something moving at speed to hack into something, and to that would just be a cool little what's going on as well. So I thought that have the Doctor win the second round and get the second bit of the book, but he ends up the monk ends up accidentally kidnapping was it Romana. Anyway, so they get finally at the third part. I thought, let's do. I'm trying to work out where it'll be, but I want to do something really unexpected, like maybe the 70s, maybe like Unit 7, like have it very dour 70s, or glam rock or something like that. But basically, at the end, where the monk and the Doctor finally meet each other properly afterwards, after the book completed, right? And like put somewhere safe. Like eventually they agree to come together, right? And they, whatever it is, the book sorted out, right? So anyway, at that point, right, they kind of like start laughing with each other, right? Because but then I think that opens up. I would really like to open up Capaldi's like emotion at that point. They're like, "Why didn't you tell me you're back?" Right? This like anger and pain. Like, I just thought, and I think that would open up emotion from the monk as well. I think you would have a really good bonding scene, right? And at the end of it, but and it will talk about the nature of friendship, right? How friendship lasts, right? How friendship, like, many of you are my age, right? And I'm sure you all have school friends you haven't seen in years who you would have me, help out in a pinch. I think most people are like that, right? I mean, look, you're not going to sell him your daughter or a kidney, right? But that sort of thing. Fine. Very belatedly, let's get to the chat here. Let's pull up the eye candy again. Doink. I can't believe there's more. Like, here's the thing: can Jodie just go away already? Like, we're all done, right? We're all done, darling. It's over, Johnny. Right? It's over. I should. Okay. Also tonight, I will review the first. Please, if I remember, okay, the first 2 episodes of the Devil's Hour, and the first episode of Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. Right, both of them. The reviews will not take long. Fine. With that, let's get to the chat. Joseph Slip, 56th anniversary of the first appearance of the Seventh Doctor, a second Doctor. I did not know that. Oh, better watch Power of the Daleks tonight. Seems like yesterday, or was it tomorrow? Says Joseph Slits. Have you read any of the James Bond novels by Anthony Horowitz? I haven't read any of the James Bond novels, really. I mean, I come to James Bond purely through the movies, right? I would love to see, like, as a TV series, novel accurate adaptations, like set in date, like set in the late 50s, early 60s, right? I would love to see that. I think it's something smart. They would make that. Howard Howdy says, Darren, that's Jordan Lee who says about the James Bond novels. Remember the 5th of September, the 5th of November, the gunpowder, treason, and plot. I wish DC says, I wish Erling Haaland a very nice ACL. I have no idea what any of that means, right? Okay. I hope nobody has an injury. Like, everybody gets better. The Soda Engines is how you doing? How you doing? What's this? I should have called him a left-wing Bulls Trek or a left-wing Gareth Roberts just to really piss him off. I'm talking about TARDIS again. Turkey dinner thumbs. Yeah, it really was. It really was thumbs up. We were very happy about that. Kronos Godwisen is here. How you doing, Kronos Godwisen? Lee Sing is here. How you doing, Lee Sing? Oh, there you go. Caught up with the chat already. TARDIS Who, 1962. Do you have a bonfire night over? Well, sort of, right? Bonfire night in Israel is called Lag BaOmer, and it's a really weird holiday. And it grew, like, hugely in my lifetime. It's so weird, right? But it just grew, like, hugely in my lifetime. Right, so I'll tell you about that. Then we'll do the Devil's Hour. Here, let me pull up some pictures from the Devil's Hour, so we can know who we're talking about. It's basically here. There's 3 plots going on. No, I'm not revealing it yet. Let me get some pictures. I mean, like, Peter Capaldi looks so fantastic. That's the thing, there. Like, Peter Capaldi, I'm like, oh, I know Doctor Who was awful to you. I know they fired you, but please don't make us suffer, right? Don't make us. Can we please have a little bit more? 1 second. Put up more pictures. Any pictures of a weird kid, which is like a major element of this. Oh, 1 second. What's going on? Oh, yeah, there we go. 1 second. Yep. There you go. So I should reply there. Is this really all the pictures of all the cast? Come on. Oh, here you go. Here you go. Okay. Okay. Really need a picture of the kid. And any other cast too? Everybody else. Although there's also like these two detectives that you've no idea what's going on with them. Hang on. Hang on. Fine. Okay. 5 So let's got that. I think that's all the pictures we're going for, right? I'd like more trawling for them. Worse. I mean, like, it's weird. I like the main actress. Don't know what I've seen her in. I mean, I know I've seen. I know she's been in Doctor Who. But she's good and she's annoying at the same time. Basically, here, 1 second. Fine. A review of The Devil's Hour, episode 1 and 2. Here we go. Doing. Okay. So it's a bit weird. Okay, I've always imagined this show, and this is the way I always, and I think it really fits this description. That in the 1970s, when Philip Hinchcliffe and Robert Holmes left Doctor Who, I really wish the head of drama at the BBC went to them and said, "We would like to commission you to make a 6-part adult drama, Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Right? A scary, like Edge of Destroy. What's it called again? Edge of, I can't remember. But you had a lot of these really good dramas in the late 80s and 90s. And 80s. I'm not sure. They kind of dried up a little bit after the 2000s. But these like really good dramas. So I imagine this is what this feels like, right? This is definitely what this feels like. It's you've got several storylines going on, right? So it's mainly about this woman. This woman is weird, right? And she doesn't live in reality, or her reality is weird. Things subtly shift around her, right? Like 1 minute it's with it there, she's in an office that's got one set of flowers, another minute it's another. There seems to be two realities that are coinciding simultaneously. At least two realities that coinciding simultaneously. But that's not really the story. That's just like flitting by. That doesn't make any sense. The main story is that she works as like a child protection officer or something along those lines. Meanwhile, she has a very, very, very weird kid, right? This kid acts like he's like he's a refugee from the future having to hide inside a kid, right? And just like emotionally detached from everything. Keep seeing people that aren't there, and is very, very, very scared and disturbed all the time, right? So at the same time, you got this like these cops looking for a serial killer or something like that. And at the same time, you also got Peter Capaldi monologuing into camera for the first 2 episodes. So that's basically what's going on. Is it any good? It's 6 episodes, right? And I'm frustrated by it right now. It's like I'm not really that interested. It's like I haven't watched the 3rd episode, right? Every time I go and sit down and watch it, I'm like, I want to relax. I don't have to. This is work. Watching it is work, right? If I'm watching it for me, I'm not watching it, right? So that's what's that? 1 second. Just reading on Gallifrey base about Chibnall's new job. He's leading a team training young people how to be a showrunner. Well, he'll certainly know what not to do. Listen, I'm glad they gave him a job. Meanwhile, okay, so back to this. It's I mean, there's obviously something going on. She's either nuts or reality is flickering or something like that. That's essentially what's going on. And I'm 2 hours. I invested 2 hours of my life into it, and it hasn't started to explain itself yet. And I'm frustrated right now. Right? Capaldi's wonderful. I love seeing Capaldi. I'm there solely for him. Right? She's how would I describe her? She's good. She's reasonably easy on the eye, but not hot enough to make me watch. Right? That's it. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to be so shallow, but that's essentially what's going on, right? You're teasing this story out too long. Now I'm gonna stick with it. I'll give it another episode or so, right? Yeah, I'll give it another episode or so. But it is crawling a bit, mate. It is crawling. Yeah. So I hate to say this. So far, it's not a recommend unless she really turns you on, right? And you're looking for some new spank material. Doesn't work for me, right? Doesn't work for me. I can't imagine it working for many, right? I look, as a drama in of itself, it's not bad. It's just like, it needs a little bit more, right? And that's where it is. Okay, that's exactly where it is. It's a drama that needs to offer a hand job as well to make it worthwhile. That's where it is, right? I wish it was better. I do wish it was better, right? I'm going to stick with it, even though I'm not getting the hand job from it, right? I'm not getting the handy, but I'm going to stick with it anyway. I'll go another episode. I don't know if I don't get any answers by the next bloody episode, right? About anything somehow, somewhere. If I don't get any answers, I think we're done, mate. I don't think I care enough, right? I don't think I care enough, and I don't think you're hot enough to justify my time. That's bad. No disrespect for you. You're a lovely woman. I'm sure you're a nice person. Don't get me wrong. I'm just talking about what's going to get me to watch, right? If you were Pamela Anderson, I would watch the show, right? But, Pamela Anderson, 20 years. Well, no, even Pamela Anderson now. I bet she's still hot. Screw it, right? If you're Nicola Bryant, right, I'll be like, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I'll be, no problem. But you're not. And again, this is not a reflection you're an actress. You're a fine actress. I'm sorry we live in such a shallow world. But that's the truth. We live in a very shallow world. A world that you need to justify your existence. And right now you're not, darling. And right now you're not. Gonna give you another hour though. So there you go. You're welcome. Yes, you're welcome. Okay. Right. With that. I think we need to really start delving into the realities of the world, the realities of the universe. I think we need to look deeply within and see what is going on. But we need I would say a mage to join us. Now, what can you do? Where can you find a mage, in 2022? It's very tricky. I guess you could go to Alan Moore, but he's probably busy, doing his own magey things. So the next best thing is you go for royal blood, right? Did you ever see Game of Thrones? When it was good, right? They used royal blood to put a curse on a bunch of pretenders of the throne. Didn't really work, but sort of did. Killed a bunch of them. So there you see the potential of royal blood. Fortunately, I have some. And it's a very funny flavored royal blood, right? I think this royal blood, if it was, if it was a muffin, right? I would say it would be a blueberry cranberry, right? Yes, a blueberry cranberry muffin, right? That's what this royal blood would be. That's how it would taste. I am, of course, talking of none other than Birmingham's King of the Geeks, Dan Hadley. How are you doing, Dan?
You're pretty much bang on there as well. Back there in the green room, I was saying he's got to say blueberry. Yeah. Hello, mate.
But it's not pure blueberry. Yes. A brummy, yes. Not pure blueberry. There's a little bit of cherry or raspberry thrown in, right? Yeah, but you've got that little zing.
A drop of rum as well. Yeah. Something just give it a bit of a kick.
I wasn't trying to intimate anybody's sober. No.
It's getting a bit park, everybody. Hence the overshirt, which I'm getting my money's worth out of, and my woolly hat.
And I guess heating in England now is insane, right? This is how you're all spending the winter.
Exactly. We're burning our belongings to keep warm.
I mean, honestly, okay. If I was to be in charge of the government, right, I would open up and say, listen, here's the truth. We're all fucked, right? You're more fucked than me, but here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take the fuckness with you, and we're going to try and work out a way of getting us mostly through this in one piece. But we're all fun, right? We're all here, and it's just the reality, okay? Anybody can sit here, and we're still fucked, okay? That's just what's going on. We're going to do our absolute best, right? That's what you need to do at this bloody point.
I couldn't agree more. The stuff, I mean, and meanwhile, the politicians are arguing about the strangest of things and saying the most ridiculous things. I noticed you got Jessica Raine up on screen a moment ago in that new The Devil's Hour thing. I haven't seen it yet myself, but she is seriously hot.
See, I don't think so. I think, because here's the thing, I see how people could see she's hot. But not for me. Like, I don't. It's not enough to get me to watch the show, right? Not enough to get me to watch the show. So who would? What's the name? EastEnders of Doctor Who, Michelle Ryan. Oh, it was Michelle Ryan.
Yeah, I like Michelle. I like Michelle Ryan. I do prefer Jessica Raine. I thought you were going to say Bonnie Langford when you said EastEnders and Doctor Who. She was on EastEnders for about 3 years until quite recently.
Oh, forgot about that. Okay. Honestly, Bonnie Langford also.
Stick Bonnie in there, yeah. See Bonnie sort of facing down a serial killer. I'd go for that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, the thing is, there's obviously a big mystery going on about what's going on, and I'm getting to the point where I don't give a shit. Okay, just like give me. I liked. I was surprised. What's that show that I really liked? Severance. Have you seen Severance?
Severance. I've not even heard of this one. Is this a new one?
Okay, it's on Apple. It's on Apple streaming thing, and it's worth getting the Apple streaming thing just for that. It's freaking awesome. It is absolutely awesome, right? And
that's not the one with Jason Momoa in it, is it?
No, that's C, and I'm just no interest in that whatsoever.
No, I've not heard of this.
Cannot make me interested in that.
Actually, I thought of you yesterday. I noticed that Westworld had been cancelled. I thought, oh Christ!
I know, bummer.
But
you know what? I'm kind of happy. It obviously was going to be cancelled. Look, this David Zaslav is just doing good. The era of woke is over, right? It's not financially viable anymore.
I've been saying this for 8 or 9 months. The culture war. No. They've simply run out of money and run out of time. It's everywhere.
Right.
And the only reason you get idiots like
him, but if they don't follow him, he's going to get 100% of the market share.
Yeah.
Because
he's just going to decimate everything else.
That aren't woke. It's that simple.
And bear in mind, mate, that they're expecting to announce pretty soon that Top Gun Maverick and what's the other? And Spider-Man: No Way Home have been the highest-grossing films of the decade so far. And
not surprising.
It isn't, is it? And this is going to
surprising at all.
Going to make people
that's who she is. Classic 80s fanboy says she played Verity Lambert in Times Like. She was more spankable than that, if I may say so. X-Men 577. How you did? Speaking about more spankable. How? Okay, I like her. I think she's hotter in the 1960s makeup. But yeah, she was great in that.
Most women.
That's where I recognize her from. She was really good in that, right? Yeah. Okay. Fine. Thank you.
She plays. Well, she for a few years before coming into doing that Doctor Who, she was in Hired as well, the Matt Smith episode. Before she did all that, she was the lead on Call the Midwife for 2 or 3 seasons, and she's in that sort of in that nurse's pinny. Hey.
Oh yeah.
Go bath, please.
Exactly. Fine. Listen, I was going to pull up this month's SFX magazine. Do you want to look for it?
Yeah. I thought I'd come and hang with you for half an hour, see what's going down.
The cover, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's Willow on this cover, isn't it?
Too Short?
Yes, I do.
They did this as a goof on Life Too Short.
They did indeed, because Val Kilmer was in the episode.
The idea of doing a Willow 2. Who is watching? I mean, I'm very happy for him. Don't get me wrong. Get the paycheck. I hope you get 5 seasons. But who the fuck is watching this?
You know what?
Fucking clue.
I am going to watch this. I thought the trailer looked. I know there's a second trailer out, there was a trailer a couple of months ago, and I thought the trailer was pretty. I thought it was okay. I thought it looked like it got a good heart.
Okay.
I know they've put another one out since, which I haven't seen, and I just think that this could be.
I forgot. We also got to look at the here. I'll download this one.
But there he is, holding his staff with his glowing scepter.
Ooh, she cried. Yeah,
exactly.
So let me just download this, and then while that's downloading, I wanted to look at the Avatar trailer.
Was that out? Oh God.
Avatar 2 trailer, and also we'll watch the. I'm just downloading the trailer right now for Willa.
Someone offered me a free Blu-ray of Avatar, the first one, a few weeks ago, and I said, "No, you're all right."
Honestly, the trouble is, it was really made for 3D, and nobody wants to sit with this glass. 3D's dead; it didn't work. Right.
Well, I thought, because I do plan on rewatching that because there's a chance Avatar may be a thing again, a slim chance. So I thought maybe I should watch it and give it another day in court. So I should have probably taken that bloke up on the free Blu-ray, but no, I've got the DVD, so I'll just dig that out, dust it off, and have a look.
Which streaming service is it on? It's on Disney Plus, I guess.
I would imagine so. Yeah. What's the point of having Zoe Saldana in a film when you paint her blue and cover her in pixels and you can't see her? I ask you.
Again, never did it for me. Genuinely, which very strange. Fine. So I tell you, shall we do the trailers first, then do SFX?
Go on. Yeah, hit me with it. Yeah.
A second. Downloads. Fine. Avatar first.
Ooh, it's called The Way of the Water, isn't it?
Yeah. So he's been spending years on this, right? Is it in 3D? Will you go and see it in 3D? I would see it in 3D.
Probably not. I don't know if I'll go and see it at all. I've got to be honest. I
didn't go to cinema for Black Adam. I'd no, but I don't know. I mean, this is a very cinematic movie. But I don't care about the universe anymore. Right? It's been 15 years or 10 years.
It's irrelevant.
I think so many people were alive.
It's been 14. It's been 14 years since the first film came out.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly.
Same.
4 years is your limit, basically, and even that's too much. And it still looks fake. She's what's the name? Pregnant in this. So here's a question, right? I got a PlayStation VR. If they release it in 3D, I would probably watch it at home in 3D.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay for it. I mean, I would watch it. It'd be interesting if Disney Plus offers it as a 3D option.
Do they have a 3D component to that?
Well, yeah, it's just the thing the movie screening. If you have a 3D TV, you will be able to watch it in 3D. If you have a PlayStation VR, you'll be able to watch it in 3D. If you have a Oculus Rift, you'll be able to watch it in 3D. But I would probably do, I enjoy it. I watched the first Doctor Strange in 3D. And it was, but it was very hot and sweaty doing it. But I did enjoy it. Right? You can't do, you can do like a half hour. You can't really do a 2 hour.
Well, at one time they were bringing out. At one time they were bringing out every single movie had a 3D screen, and you could go and see pretty much anything. Has that stopped?
That's the thing. Are they going to go back to that for Avatar? I wonder.
Because you're right. That brand and that name is synonymous with 3D, so it's a viable question.
I mean, it launched the medium, right? It's the only one that really utilized it, right? The way James Cameron described it is, it's not a screen, it's a portal, right? And that's how he used it, and it really worked in Avatar, really, really well.
When they say about filmmakers visionary, a lot they use that a lot, and it's not true. But in Cameron's case, whatever we think of him, he is a visionary.
Absolutely is, yeah. I mean, it's everything he does. And so I'm convincing myself this is probably going to get me to the movie. Like, this will probably bring me and my wife to the movies.
Dad, I know you think I'm crazy.
Never mind those big rocks.
But I feel her. I hear her heartbeat. She's so close.
I don't know though. Like, can it do it again? Right? It's not a fait accompli. I don't know.
I'm not feeling a single tremor of excitement.
No, that's the thing. Yes, that's exactly the thing. Not a tremor of excitement. Yeah, agreed.
So what does her heartbeat sound like?
Mighty.
I think like 10 years ago, yes, but now it's just and it's there seems to be no progression in technology. This seems to be exactly like I looked before.
I agree. If you were to tell me these were scenes from the first film, I'd believe you because I've only ever seen it twice.
Exactly.
We cannot let you bring your war here.
Outcast. That's all they see.
I see you.
In fact, the first one really appealed to me a lot more. I like the human angle of it more, right? It was basically, you had the high-tech human thing, which is good. And then there's this flavor as well. But this is the main course. I feel it's over egging the pudding.
No, I completely agree.
Connects all things.
As soon as I saw the tech, I'm like, oh, this interests me, right? I'm like, this is good. But like, this is something I can kind of believe it.
Before your birth and after your death.
This is our home!
I need you with me. And I need you to be strong. Strong-hearted.
I have to tell you, George Lucas did it better in Return of the Jedi with the Ewoks. that made the message much clearer, right? And the Ewoks are shit. The Ewoks were shit. I think it's fair to say the Ewoks were shit. It didn't say 3D though, did it? If it's not
there's
3D,
nothing else,
I don't think you're getting me to the cinema for it.
If there's nothing else in the cinema over Christmas, this will do very well. But if somebody scheduled something remotely interesting,
here's the question.
opposite
how much do
that,
we heat in the cinema, and how much does it cost?
I have no interest in that at all. And I'd hate saying it.
Sci-fi.
I do, and that's why I'm wondering if I got to a point a little while ago. I think I spoke to you about it, where I said I don't know if it's my age. Because I don't find it as easy to get hyped up by stuff anymore. But that
no, it's not your age. We've seen the insidious brain control techniques, right? We've had them done on us too many times, and we see through them now.
I feel that trailer is, and that story is not going to be enough. I don't think this film's going to flop, but I don't think it's going to do the business that they need it to. And I can't see how there's not enough residual affection for the original film to get people out of their houses in 2022 to go and see that. And the story itself hasn't got enough. And the characters you can't relate to them in the same way. I just can't see people going for this. Like I say, if I know that people do go to the cinemas over the holiday period, and to some extent, people will go and see pretty much anything for that sense of family, that sense of occasion and togetherness. But I just don't think this will be enough. It reminds me
I
of.
don't think so either. Honestly, the only movie I've been excited to see this year was Spider-Man. Right? I mean, I didn't even see Top Gun because I didn't see the first one. So I was like excited it did well, but I like, it didn't really do much for me.
No, I haven't seen it either.
Fine, let's look at the Avatar trailer. Where is it? Oh, wrong one. Hang on, doink. I mean, not Avatar, Willow.
It's not that I don't think the original Avatar is a good film. I think it is a good film in many respects, but everything's got their time. I think I think he's
it missed its moment. It's missed its moment, right? It really has. DC Universe, I think, is going to be banging in the next 10 years.
I think it's possible.
James good news. Right, let's have a look at Willow.
You think you know what is real and what isn't. What is light?
I mean, I never bothered seeing the original either because I was like, well, I don't really care about, what's his name? And like, it's a bit gay to me, not for me.
I do. I'm a relatively big fan of the original Willow movie. I saw it in the cinema, so I've got a lot of fond memories of it. But already, I mean, this doesn't look like it's going to change the world. But I don't know who those two characters are. But I'm already feeling something that 2 minutes of James Cameron's Way of the Water just didn't touch me, and I don't even know.
It is dark. Now, forget all you know. Come with me, Willow.
I'm more interested in a Clash of the Titans movie. like bring back Harry Hamlin. Right?
Get Harry Hamlin back. Get Judy Baker back. Yeah, get them all back. Bring them all back.
There you go. What's his name again?
Warwick Davis.
Well, Warwick Davis. Yeah. Again, this was a goof in Life's Too Short. It is so funny.
I think it's still a goof now. I believe that Warwick.
On it.
I think that Warwick still sees this as a goof now. I don't. From what I hear about the man, he doesn't take himself particularly seriously. I think he knows that Willow itself is. I wouldn't say it's forgotten. I think he knows it's like a C-list franchise.
In Life's Too Short, he was talking about it. And he had a poster that says Willow, and we think one day it's going to make back all its money. It said it's going to cost like $10 million to make. But okay, I worry.
We're looking for the sorcerer Willow. I was told that once long ago you defeated the forces of evil.
You remind me of your mother.
My dear friend, I thought I could prevent all this. I was wrong.
My brother was abducted. The world needs you again. It needs.
Is this giving you the feels? It looks pretty good, actually. I have to tell you, I'm backtracking.
I have got a couple of tingles with this. I just think this looks quite wholesome. I think Joanne Wally still looks quite hot. Say she's 60, but I just think it looks like a fun time for a family audience, and that it's not necessary. I mean, look how much makeup they're all wearing. This is not supposed to be the Fellowship of the Ring. This is a bank holiday kind of thing, and I keep forgetting it's not a film, that it's a series, which is a different prospect. I know, coming back to it week after week, but it could be the way that they used to be on the BBC with the Chronicles of Narnia TV show. I think this could be quite nice. I think it could be if it's got a good heart.
it does seem to, doesn't it? Right? I mean, all right, let's carry on.
Your magic.
Follow me. We must go beyond the edge of our world.
Okay, this is why I didn't see the original Willow. I'm cringing as he's giving the dialogue. Okay, this is exactly why I didn't see the original. It's kind of like, this is okay. Stop. But
Into the unknown.
Willow!
I need your help.
Just like old times. Attack! Running! Horses! Mayhem! Mayhem! Happy to see it.
Our true enemy is still out there, rallying the forces of evil.
Yeah, just when every line he delivers, I'm like,
it's all a massive cliche, isn't it? Every line is something you've heard a million times over. But
he's delivering it like the best he can. But it's like
like he's reading the menu in a chip shop window.
Yeah, exactly.
Standing in his path is us.
I'm going to enjoy this.
If you're thinking what I'm thinking, so am I.
I doubt that very much. Take him to my tent and make sure he's tied up.
I don't know. See, that kind of sounds like we're on the same page.
When I was a kid, I used to play at being a sorcerer, visiting strange worlds, fighting monsters. Run! Never thought I'd actually really do it. What the hell is that?
This is why I didn't see it. Okay, this is again. Wish you the best, mate. I wish you the best, but this is yeah. Okay, this is why I didn't see it. Okay, this is why. Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Trolls. I'm so miffed.
I bet it's gonna be way better than Rings of Power. It looks fun.
Easily.
I think I'm gonna watch and review it. When is it coming out?
Quite soon. I think it begins quite soon. Mid-November time.
Okay.
We have to hurry.
How will you defeat us?
Same as last time. With my friends.
Okay, okay, throw me over. Yeah, okay, Disney, I'm watching it, okay?
That looks loads and loads of fun. As I said, Warwick Davis knows. He knows that he's not Ian McKellen. He's in on this joke, and this could be so much fun if they keep the tongue just slightly in the cheek. If they honestly, use all those cliches.
I want him and Ricky Gervais to do a director's commentary.
I want to go and watch the original film tonight now and get prepped for this.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I'm on board for it. That's on Disney Plus. I'll watch it. Okay, you talked me into it. Fine. USS Magazine. What they got? Titans. I don't really care. Peripheral. That's not bad. Have you been watching that?
Andy, who is a panelist on the Spacebook show that I do on Wednesdays and most Saturdays, she has recommended it. Said it's really good.
It is. I'm very impressed. Wednesday, I'm also looking forward to that. That looks like it's going to be good as well. Have you seen that? The trailers?
I've seen the trailers, but yeah, she's I've got it entirely on her referral that it's worth a watch. Has it not started yet? She seems
no, November 23rd, which I thought.
Oh, maybe yeah. She was very excited about it. I'm getting mixed up when these things bloody start. Well, yes, in that case, I'll probably get on board for that week one as well. The Peripheral starts on the 23rd.
Then Dave has a new sci-fi show because they can't get the Red Sodding Dwarf.
Yes, I've seen.
Guys, just get your freaking act together. And there's a Timothy movie, Timothy Chavez. Where are you? This just doesn't interest me at all. I mean, nice,
it looks beautiful. I mean, when we put out Type 40 Live on Thursday, probably I think it was our longest ever show. There was a bit of an argument.
A long one. It was a long one.
Well, there's a bit of an argument. Nobody can. Well, people say that Type 40 is just one big echo chamber. Anybody out there who's watching this, who's been hate watching, nobody can ever say that. Go and watch that video. Type 40 is not an echo chamber. But during the course of that show, JT had his copy of Doctor Who and the Daleks delivered, and it looks beautiful. It looks absolutely beautiful, but it's £20. Am I going to actually read it, or am I going to look at the pictures? I've got 2 or 3 editions of this already. I love Robert Hack. I think he's a great artist. I haven't decided yet. I think as a one-off thing, I may buy it. But I'm currently weighing it up. I think I'd rather buy something new. I'd rather buy Colin Howard's book or Andrew Skilleter's book or
I agree with you.
The
I
Art
do
of
agree
Phil
with you.
Bevan, one of those other big books.
Yeah. I would totally. I tell you, the main thing stopping order from them is the crushing shipping rates to Israel. I'm like, I'm not paying £30. It's just not happening. Right? I don't like that's just not going to happen. Fine. That's so they got a big thing about Willow. Alan Moore's. I just started reading his short story book. That's good. I recommend that. Illuminations. If you look,
It's just been published, isn't it?
Yeah. It's. I read one short story today. You had to kind of just. You always got to tune into what he's saying and what he's doing to understand what's going on. But well worth it. Well worth it. Oh God, I hate to see. Let's see what they're saying about the turgid Rings of Power. Yes, Rings of Power is slower, not as good as the classic movie trilogy, but it's still intriguing. No, it's not. And looks visually stunning. I just can't be visually stunning when she's like this. Anything with this in it is not visually stunning. I'm sorry.
There's no flair. Any footage I've seen from this, I don't think it looks visually stunning at all. I think it looks tired. I think it looks strangely under budgeted. How, I don't know. And from what I hear about it, ideologically, it's nothing but hateful nonsense. So why would I watch that?
Right. Let's look at the rants and raves. These are things I always go to. Hocus Pocus, you adored Hocus Pocus 2. This man is making completely a soy. It's a movie that nobody wanted and nobody cares about. Leave us alone. No. Saw Violent Night at New York Comic Con. Absolutely hilarious. I don't trust you at all. Enjoyed Halloween End, but I'm not sure it's the movie the fans wanted. I take it back. I won't be watching season 2 of Tierra Incognita. Never heard. Was the Power of the Doctor derailed by the Centenary hook? No, by Chris Chibnall, who's been sucking for the last 5 years. Right?
They still can't face reality, can they?
No, they never will.
Everybody else
ever will. Like, wouldn't it like now's a good time in Doctor Who magazine, which I'm really intrigued what they're going to do with the next issue. Right? I'm really looking forward to the next issue this week. Right? But what do we go? If we actually have articles discussing what really happened, right?
I think it's unlikely. Probably ever. I think back with the magazine before it went perfect bound, before the show came back, maybe would have discussed it then, but not now. Not now.
It's too corporate now. It's too big. It's too corporate. There's no way. But it'll be. I mean, that's why we have YouTube channels.
Exactly.
This is why we exist, because this is where we can have the conversation. It's. But I'm really miffed. I can't get Twitter Blue in Israel. I'm like, I would so pay for that now. Yeah, for like the 10-minute videos. Like if you're watching, I've been putting out.
It's perfect. It's perfect for you because you can do your shorts. You can even put out special sort of bespoke things where you can time yourself to match the sort of 10-minute slot.
10 minutes is easy. 10 minutes. Yeah. 2 minutes 20. It's tricky. 1 minute is just like I don't like doing 1 minute at all. But 2 minutes 20 is good.
No, I wouldn't do the 1 minute things.
So let's have a look, see what else we got. Ian Berryman to say, look. Trump Records released due out the end of the month will be Sydney Sea's Injuring Music the Children's Stones. I kind of remember that. Look forward to Mark Jenkins' Ennie's Men. I never heard of it. Whatever. Is that the BFI? I often turn subtitles on when reviewing things to help me catch muffled dialogue. And the general standard is laughingly bad. Sort it out, Blu-ray labels. Okay. What's your raves there, Jonathan Coates? Missed the Galaxy Britain built the British force behind Star Wars the first time round. Still on iPlayer. I've never heard of it.
Brilliant documentary. Well, yeah, he's right about
that. Out. Industrial Light and Magic on Disney Plus. Fantastic documentary about Industrial Light and Magic, how it was built. Please that Outer Range has been given a second season. So much unresolved. Never heard of it. So Ed Ricketts, production editor, says something about dash cam. Don't know. Exes don't care. Ray Guns and Rocket Ships by Ryan Hughes is a feast of vintage art, and a celebration of his lost age British sci-fi. Never heard of it.
I think I have heard of it. It's not a graphic novel.
I know. Let's have a look. I'm looking at it right now. Ray gun.
I've seen that somewhere.
Rocket ships. There we go. Right, Hughes. Hang on. So, we'll look at it. Book depository, I guess. Can you see any interior pages? No. It's like a collection of that's my little Amazon. It's like a collection of a classic. Again, you only have it's a hardcover. It's £40, but you can't see anything inside here. 1 second. Maybe share this. It looks really nice.
I think it's got a Facebook page.
Where is it? It's from tab. It's there you go. Doink.
That's it. I knew I'd seen that somewhere.
Still, £40 is a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. The cover's
Vintage
beautiful.
science fiction book cover art. That sounds nice. Man, that does sound nice.
I think there are some pages from this on their Facebook page or Twitter account. I have seen some interiors from this.
Yeah, images. Let's look at that. He's a very good graphic designer. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Hughes.
Just looks beautifully presented.
Yeah. Right. What's this?
Yeah, that's
this
the stuff
fun,
I've seen.
Doesn't this?
Yeah.
Oh, this is gorgeous. Anything else? Oh, yeah, this is really nice. Yeah. This is worth it. Although there's so many of them worth the money. I like the Phil Bevan book as well. Phil Bevan book is really nice.
Yeah, I've got a lot of his stuff, and when I saw that they were putting one out, I thought I've got to have that. But again, they put these things out obviously because they're ideal Christmas presents. But of course, when Christmas rolls around, you're buying for other people. You think, I can't justify spending however many pounds on something for myself. That's how I missed out on. I missed out on a collection of comic strips last year from the old Look-In strips of Robin of Sherwood. They were all collected by an independent publisher. I really wanted it, but it was £40, and I couldn't justify getting that when I'd got everybody else to buy for at Christmas and stuff. Yeah.
So the insanely woke Tara Bennett, the US editor, loves Andor. The Star is so boring. I'll go 1 plot point per hour. That's essentially it. You get 1 plot point per hour. Oh,
I've stopped watching that show, and I hadn't even realised I'd stopped watching it. I didn't intend
reviewing it because I'm like, who gives a shit? I mean,
I didn't intend on stopping watching it because I was enjoying it on several levels. But I realised sometime in the middle of the week, I thought, hang on, there's 2 episodes of that now. Why don't I care?
Do you want me to spoil it in insanely quickly?
No, because I am going to watch it. So I'll have to.
Episode, it's crazy, right? And the whole plot thread of the guy who's supposed to be Javert, the guy based on him. Just stop. It's all bad. None of this is interesting. And also, she's having a little bit of a meltdown. Probably having a lot more of one today with Twitter. Mwah! Oh, I love you, Elon Musk. Yes. $8 for your blue check mark. Mwah! Oh, you're beautiful. I love it.
The sort of the progressives, the lefties, they're taking it all so literally. They have got no. I mean, I saw some guy who's involved with Doctor Who. He seems a nice enough fella, but he's been on Doctor Who for about 15 years, and in a really minor way, he's an extra, really. But I don't like to be mean to people like that. But he was behaving like such a frigging prima donna on Twitter over this blue check mark. I've had to work my ass off to get this check mark. Oh, have you? Have you really? 6 months on an oil rig in the North Sea or something? But no, pouncing around, dressed up in boiler suits or as Cybermen or whatever else to get his little check mark to basically lord it up over everybody else. It's really exposed some people as being the pricks that they are. And I follow, and sometimes I interact with some actors, and I can't help but notice on there, and some of them, they'll talk to you, they'll even message you, And I thought, well, hang on, the ones that do that, the ones that talk about going to pick their food up from Aldi or something like that, they're the ones who don't bother applying for the check mark. And a couple of them have been in multiple shows, names you'd recognize, but they never bother with all that because they don't think they're above the rest of us. Anybody who's got that check mark in that world in particular thinks that they are an elitist class. They think that we are the proles and they are bestowing their majesty on us.
Now, isn't it?
Yeah, they're to be ashamed of themselves. And I see when people come from. I know that Gary's got one at Nerdrotic, but I know why he did that. I get that, and just the same reason that I know why you'd get that, because in some senses, I feel that the scheme that Musk is substituting for the old scheme is a gift to content makers. It's to encourage.
So good. Again, the 10-minute video, perfect format. It's such a great format.
It's another klaxon going off. It's another klaxon going off, mate, to tell the people that are working in legacy media and that still either genuinely think or maintain the illusion that they've got something over us, that they're legitimate and we aren't.
That's over.
It's just over.
So over.
And they can hear it ringing.
They get a fraction of the ratings of a Crowd or a Tim Paul, right? They get a fraction of the ratings of Joe Rogan. They like that. That's that because they offer much better content. Bottom line, right? It's I don't want to see. I don't want to see the people who write for silly rags like at SFX. I don't want to see them out of work. It's not that I don't think what they do is of value, but they shouldn't be elevating what they do, but pushing down what other people do. People on new media, people who speak about movies, TV, about pop culture in these spaces, because you're right, it's the equivalent of the old fan press, fanzines. That kind of world doesn't really exist. But a lot of the people who write for these magazines, they got started in the fan press world anyway. So for them now to be, to try and hold, it's like, the ladder's up. We're all right, and sod you lot. We've got our tick marks. Again, it's the reason that we exist is because the flaws in the system.
Did you see Steve O'Brien's article for Radio Times a couple of days ago about the Disney Doctor Who deal?
No, I was going to actually look at that at some point.
Yeah, take a look because it's a nicely written article. And Steve was the editor of SFX for years, wasn't he? He's been around a long time, and so I've got a certain amount of time for him. He's a proper writer. But there's nothing. Bear in mind that Disney deal was announced nearly 2 weeks ago. There's nothing that Steve doesn't say in that article that certainly that I haven't said on YouTube, that I think you're along similar lines to me, but he says it in such a milk toast way, and this article is getting shared, and that it's saying something bold, and it's not. It's still quite safe. I'd love to know what you think of it when you read it.
I will do. I'll do a video now. Have you seen this?
Oh my God! Is this the staff out on strike?
I think that's what the picture looks like.
Fuck me, that's funny.
Yeah, why do you think
is that girl got a cape on?
What the hell?
Look at the one dressed as a squirrel.
Oh yeah, furries is a thing.
It's the guy dressed.
It's a weird thing, but it's a thing.
Did you see the guy in the necktie with his underpants?
They're all bizarre. It's all very,
God.
very
okay, who's this? What's going on here? This is the new Disney thing, isn't it? Strange World, is it?
Really, genuinely couldn't care less, right? Just like whatever.
They're getting short. They're getting short of ideas again.
Yeah, 1 second. Oh. Hang on. I forgot what page I was on. So fine, let's go to the next one. Doink. Who's writing this? We got Paul Dano's take on Riddler. That was such a boring movie. I mean, really, is Paul Dano writing this?
Apparently.
Oh, that's it. I might review it. When's it out? Is a question.
They will do anything. DC and Marvel. They will do anything. Anything to get out of actually employing proper comic book writers to write their comic books. They'll let activists do it. They'll let actors do it. But comic book writers.
So here, News Warp. We got Constantine 2 by the same director and starring Keanu Reeves. Again, everything. This is all Warner Brothers. Everything they're doing. They're saying we want to give you the audience what they want, right?
Yeah.
And look at it. Was it? What was I going to say? Disney clearly wants to do the same thing. Deadpool 3 with Wolverine, Sean Levy directing. Okay. Then you got Loki's Michael Waldron writing Avengers that couldn't give a shit. Cloverfield 4 couldn't give a shit. Don Cheadle Armor Wars couldn't give a shit. Frey Allen story Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Oh, can give a shit. What's Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes?
That's the first of this new trilogy. It's directed by Wes Ball, who directed the first of the Maze Runner movies, which I think is really good. I think he's a great fit for a Planet of the Apes movie, and this could obviously Disney have got this now as well because they bought Fox. But I think Wes Ball is the right director for this to take it forward. So I'm excited with reservations for more.
Listen, Planet of the Apes is a great property, and they can keep making it forever, right?
One of my
here. I spoke about you at length at the beginning of the show. So there you go.
Good to see you, Alex. I haven't seen Dr. Alex around so much lately. It's good to see you, mate. Hope you're keeping well. Come back on the show. Come and talk to us at Christmas. I want to get a big Christmas party together. Some of the people I haven't spoken to for a few months. Yeah, get yourself and Dr. Alex on. Few more faces.
What day is Christmas this year?
God knows. Don't ask me these complicated questions. I think it might be.
Yeah, June 25th, 2022. Let's see what day it says it is. Which day is December 25th, 2022? Sunday! Oh, yes! Maybe we'll do the King's speech together. Live reaction. I'm up for that. Fine. So Sam Raimi is thinking about remaking the 1978 ventriloquist doll horror Magic. That would be fun. Tessa Farmiga returns as Sister Irene and Nun 2. Okay, whatever. Andrew Stanton directing epic sci-fi on a blink of an eye. Okay, whatever. Stephen King is still being Stephen King. Fairy Tale set to be adapted by Paul Greengrass. Bill Skarsgård vamps it out as Robert Eggers' version of Nosferatu. Okay, alongside Lily Rose Depp. McKenna Grace back as Phoebe Spengler in Yet Unknown. Which was McKenna Grace? Oh, that was the granddaughter. Ghostbusters sequel Afterlife. Okay, all of which exciting, right? All of which I'm on board for. Well, not all of which. Right? Who gives a shit? Really? I mean, don't get me wrong. I like her, but nobody wanted to see this as the original movie.
I think they've got this wrong. I don't think Disenchanted's going to do that well. But again, it might surprise us. I don't know. I kind of feel this is far too late.
It's not going to surprise us. Just let you know now. Although nice cleavage going on, like it a lot.
Still a very good-looking woman.
Yes. So what's this? DC commemorates the death of Superman with the new 30th anniversary special. Whatever. Doesn't really interest me. Doesn't really interest me at all. Fine. Let's have a look at the more news warp. Lisa Kudrow joining Taika Waititi's TV take on the Time Bandits. That, I think, is a good combination. Frankly.
I couldn't be less interested. I can't stand Taika Waititi. I think he loves the smell of his own farts.
I think as a human being is awful, but his work is normally quite good, apart from the last Thor movie.
I didn't even like Ragnarok, to be honest. The idea of him taking on Time Bandits, I think it's going to be a frigging car crash. So I'll be staying well clear of that myself.
Fine. So there's a prequel to the Winchesters. Don't really care. Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur greenlit for season 2. Really? It didn't have season 1. Emma Watson and Shirley Henderson are the leads of Dune: The Sisterhood. I am intrigued. I would like to see that.
Yeah, you can't help
Blade
but be
Runner-
interested by that. I mean, neither of those two actresses are enough. You think they're going to be leading a show? Are they really? They wouldn't usually be enough to get me interested in something. But Dune, the film was.
It's the modern Dune. I do like it. I'm glad they're making a sequel. I'm glad they're doing this TV show. I hope they do it to a third movie. Right? I'm glad they're doing the first book, but like, if they could do the third movie, like which is Dune Messiah, it's all about Duncan Idaho coming back, which is Jason Momoa.
Yeah,
perfect. It was the best Duncan Idaho ever.
Right? Yeah, I think it would be a massive shame if that trilogy didn't get completed, and I'll support that franchise every step of the way. I just can't believe I'm excited. Well, I can't get excited about a show that stars those two people. They both supporting. In my view, they're both supporting actors. They're not leads. So who's going to be leading the show?
Shirley Henderson, I know, is she could do anything. She's very, very good, right? But listen, it's the property. It's not the actress. Blade Runner 2099 is a go for series on Prime Video with Ridley Scott on board as executive producer. I want everything just to make Lord of the Rings look bad, right? That's my goal in life. They have Good Omens season 2 next summer. They're doing more. Goosebumps, don't care. Outer Range reduced. Didn't know they had a first season. Paranormal video game The Medium set to be I don't care. Ronnie Cox reprising Admiral Jellicoe for Star Trek. I gotta see more of this show. Star Trek Prodigy. I saw the first couple of episodes. It wasn't bad. You've seen it all, haven't you?
No, I didn't see it. People keep telling me it was good, and I keep meaning to watch it, but it eludes me. It keeps sliding down my list in favour of other things. It's not
really worth your time. In all fairness, it's just not awful, right?
Yeah, the bar got that low with Star Trek. It's just not awful. So yeah.
Right. And good news, they're filming Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power season 2, right, in the UK.
Hey.
I mean, like that they didn't order complete halt on production when it got round. It was roundly awful.
You know my feelings about it. Don't watch it. Don't talk about it. Don't tweet about it. Ignore them, and they'll go away.
If only. But speaking of not going away, the Mindy Kaling leads HBO Max's adult animation on Scooby-Doo spin-off Selma, and it looks garbage, right? It looks absolutely
no way I'm watching a second of that. It looks like an affront to every sensibility going.
I pulled up the cover for the porn version of Scooby-Doo, which was more accurate, right?
Yep. Did exactly
really
the same thing.
It was. Right. So this is Star Trek Prodigy. Yeah. Look at it. I mean, it looks okay. I mean, I saw the first couple of episodes. It was.
This looks like a decent animated show, but it doesn't look remotely like Star Trek. And that's why I keep forgetting about it.
That's actually a plot point. So at least they like acknowledge it, right? Which makes a difference. So it's on Paramount.
And that's a great likeness of Ronnie Cox there. I can't deny it, isn't it? Bloody is.
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh, yeah, I will give this a go.
There's a new Transformers. Who cares? Look at this.
God, how many times do they keep doing this? I love Transformers, particularly G1, but they need to let Transformers lie for a few years.
Yes, indeed. Marvel is bringing back Secret Invasion. Who can you trust? Certainly not Marvel. Is this a TV show or is it the comic book?
This isn't. Yeah, they've done what DC have done with the Flashpoint Beyond. Because obviously Flashpoint was reasonably liked 10, 12 years ago.
Right.
They're going back to Secret Invasion purely to try and stoke up interest in the TV version, which I'm sure will be okay. But again, why they're digging up this event, I just don't know. Marvel are all out of ideas in print, and it's a sad thing to behold.
In every way. I mean, like generally speaking, in every way. Let the Right One In, no interest at all. I made a TV show of it. Thing about French filmmaker Quentin Dupieux talks about His oddball offering, incredible but true. Okay, not really interested at all. That looks gorgeous. Who's writing this? So Hitler meets zombies in Bruce Campbell's Sergeant Rock versus. Is that again not a comic bloody writer? You're absolutely right.
Yep. The cover. I mean, you look at the cover to that. That's by Gary Frank. God, yeah, I'm so down for that. You find out he's only the cover artist. He's not doing the interiors. Who's the cover artist? If it's going to be some wanker that they've just dragged out of the queue in Greg's, then I'm not going to buy it.
Although these are comics I would totally review. Right? I think
me too.
Comics.
I noticed. In fact, I meant to message you about this. I noticed that FMP, the Frank Miller thing that Dan Didio's doing, they've announced their first 3 titles. And one of them is an Al Yankovic comic book.
Oh, really? Oh, yes. I did see that.
And the other one is Ronin 2. And
That's
there's a third one.
I will buy and review that, absolutely.
I immediately thought, I wonder if Tzvi's going to get on these. Because the third one looks like a superhero book, but it looks like it's got a lot of fantasy about it. It just looks like... fun.
Look, if they're available digitally, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. One sec. There's these new playlists. These 5-inch or 3.5-inch. Did you see the Jerry Anderson ones?
I did. Yeah, they're beautiful.
I thought they looked really nice. Here, let's just click over them for a second. Who's got them there? I saw it on there. Hang on. Where is it? Here we go. Doink. Share screen. The only trouble is, I think that they're too small. I don't like the 3.75. Right, it's same with these, but yeah, these look. I mean, I will get the.
Oh, yeah, these look beautiful.
Certainly the Stingray, certainly the Captain Scarlet. I'm not sure about the rest.
No, I would only go for the marionette-based ones. I wouldn't buy what's his name, Ed Bishop, sorry, Ed Balls, or Walter Koenig. I wouldn't buy those, but I would the puppet ones. I would probably get those.
They all look fun. They do all look fun. They're not that expensive either, but they look cool. So listen. Everybody buy some. Name the channel. Maybe they'll just. Give me a freebie. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that just be right? And
if you don't ask, you don't get, mate.
That is true. So these ones, how big are they? Nostalgia Overlay Playmates are back in the Star Trek business. These new figures are update from the 90s classics, but their iconic car-back design, the initial wave featured Ruther Khan and Next Generation, and also adds characters from Discovery. Well, see, you just invalidated yourself
from memory. Aren't these around the same size as the character options Doctor Who range, around 5.5?
Are they like that? I don't know. I think they might even be bigger, right? But I did speak of action figures. Did you see this? My thumbnail for my video yesterday, which I was didn't take forever actually.
I haven't seen many thumbnails this week from you or anybody else. So yeah.
Yeah, 1 second. Share screen. Hang on. Oh, I really like this Photoshop. I think I did a fine job.
Yeah.
What were the good ones I had? Let's have a look. There's this one. Penny for the guy, sir. She's not even worth that. What else we got?
It's like there's people saying, oh, it's a shame Russell couldn't use Jodie. Oh, he couldn't. Of course, he could have bloody used her if he'd have wanted to. He couldn't wait to get her away from the show.
Shield Media now hates everything about Christian North, Doctor Who, even Sylvester McCoy. Right? They go over him for a bit.
I did see this.
I
did see this video, and yeah, you're bang on.
Oh man, people are strange. Anyway, let's get back to SFX. Doink. Which one? There, doink. I also like these little Star Wars ones as well. They look kind of fun. Fine. Let's see what else we got in here.
Yeah, I mean, they need. This is the thing with Star Wars. They so badly need to get to us. Well, bring the fun back. Ideally, reconnect with kids. It all needs a rethink, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, so I had the wrong screen playing. There we go. Share screen. That one. Menu. Movie called Taste. Don't really care. Okay, fine. Zach Estrin died. Denise cried. I don't care about any of this. So what's this? Okay, so now they've got a big feature about Willow. Okay, which if I hadn't watched the trailer, I'll be taking the piss out of a lot more now, right? That trailer kind of helped it, right? So there's a reasonably big feature about that. Goes on for a while. I'm going to skip it so I don't get like copyright strike.
I think it was filmed in Great Britain, so the SFX probably had on-set access.
Probably. Okay.
Otherwise, I don't think they'd give it I don't know if they'd given it the cover, to be brutally honest.
Well, what else is there? I mean, you could go Black Panther 2.
True.
This looks like it's going to be shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this looks like it's going to be super, super duper shit.
They've already started running defense so hard for this movie. It looks awful.
I mean, listen, it might not have been a good idea to tell white people not to go for the opening weekend. Okay.
Yeah, it's not the best of game plans, is it?
Right. It's gonna be shit.
What have they done to the Submariner? Apparently, he's not even from Atlantis. He's an Aztec now, and his name is pronounced Namor. No, Namor rather than Namor. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, it's just
and that's really the truth. They don't know what they're bloody doing.
Why would I want to go and see a Black Panther film that Black Panther's not in? It's why am I going to go and see an Iron Man movie with no Iron Man in? Why would I want to go and see a Captain America movie without Captain America in it? Come on, play the game.
They don't seem to understand it. But he is Captain America. No, no, he's not.
Because he holds a big round shield. That's enough, Rabbi. That's enough.
But then there's an article about the new Addams Family, which I've warmed up to a lot, right?
I think this looks okay. I think Tim Burton may be past his best, but he hasn't worked in television. I don't think he's worked in television ever. So if only for that reason, this has got to be worth a look. And I think it looks really well cast.
I think Puzzlers doesn't really work other than that. I think she's good. I mean, she looks like Wednesday. She looks scary and hot, right? And that's basically what they're supposed to be. And it's got Gwendolyn Christie as well in it, so I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I like her too.
Yeah, this is no interest whatsoever. I stopped watching Titans after the first season.
Yeah, I thought that was an okay show, but I think the reason I stopped watching it as well, again, I didn't mean to, because I quite enjoyed it, and that girl who plays Starfire is smoking hot. But the problem is, it's not the characters that I grew up reading. It does feel like some sort of brutalist parody of the. So I just didn't latch onto it. The Doom Patrol show, on the other hand, felt like the Doom Patrol. It was good.
It did, but I got bored with that too. So, okay, we got this. I want to make sure I don't get copyright strike.
I mean, why is Connor Kent in this? why is Superboy in that, the Connor Kent version? Why is what's his name in it? Cyborg, not Cyborg. Why is Cyborg in Doom Patrol? Yeah, why have they messed around with these guys?
Doom Patrol at one point. Doom Patrol's kind of fun. Again, I think the last season I stopped watching, when it got too wrapped up into going into Crazy Jane's inner world,
they overdose on that character quite a lot.
Right. And they so cool, she had to be black. I understand. Oh God, man, all these producers don't want to be called racist. That's basically the bottom line, because they're all
that's what it all boils down to.
Racist because they are racist. I mean, I think that's what's come out in the world. What's this? Farewell, Bones and All. Never heard of it. Bones and All is a love story with a bloody twist. Director Yohana Gaganda and Timothy Chalamet talk transgression and transformation. Sounds too grown up for me. I'm sorry. No, thank you.
This is one of
I
those
like
films that
show
has the
about
potential to be
pretty
a
much.
social justice lecture.
It does, doesn't it? It does,
Yeah.
and not a fun one.
No.
Second.
I don't like him as an actor either. I think he's okay in Dune, but I
good. Sorry.
That guy the guy who plays Paul Atreides in Dune, I think he's good in that, but I don't think he's any great talent.
He was good in Don't Look Up as well. I like Don't Look Up a lot. Most people don't like it. I liked it a lot.
You mention that film to me pretty much every time I come on. I'm going to have to take a look at it.
It's really worth your time, right? It's really worth your time. So's this, The Peripheral, this new VR thing. I think it's very, very good. Right? I'll do a full review of it once I've caught up with it. I want to try and push myself through one more episode of Devil's Hour, so we can make it through there. He's saying we wanted Red Dwarf, but they didn't have it, right? So we got this instead, right? Again, this is so clear that Red Dwarf is supposed to be Red Dwarf.
I like the fact that they're not sitting around waiting for Doug Naylor to sort themselves out and trying to fill the gap in their schedule. I respect that, and I'd like to think this could be good. But will anybody see it? That's the thing. I mean, people went today for Red Dwarf because it was Red Dwarf. I can't see people getting behind something like this. Not in 2022.
No, exactly. It's a shame. It's a shame. Never mind. The other Doc Brown travels a galaxy far, far away in Andor. I don't even know who this guy is.
Yeah, this man confuses the hell out of me because he's actually a stand-up comedian. He's not an actor, and he used to do stand-up under the name Doc Brown. Now he goes by his real name of Ben Bailey Smith, and he plays the one of the sort of nasty admin, the really buttoned-up people from the Empire.
They're all interchangeable.
He's again, yes, that's the problem. Yeah.
Although I thought the main bad evil woman thing in the white is reasonably hot. I would be interrogated by her either. I would read this. I'm busy reading the book. It's very good. I do recommend it. And he's just saying, I can tell he hates doing this interview. But okay. Have you seen Black Adam?
I haven't. I'm still weighing up going to the cinema to see it. I've been waiting all year to see that film, and they bumped it by about 4 or 5 months, and I sort of forgot about it a little. And now it's out.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm waiting till it comes out on streaming.
My kids, I think they're going to see it tonight. My twins, my sons are all back. They're all back from uni for a little while, for 2 or 3 days. So they're going tonight, all together, with their mates and stuff. And so I'm going to wait and see what they say. But I think, I haven't seen nobody slagging it off.
Look,
usually
all the
right people
hate it. That's one thing, and it's got the Henry Cavill in it from the Superman cameo. There's gonna be a lot. I think the DC universe, cinematic universe, is in good shape, right? I think it's in very good shape.
Well, the things that were and have been wrong with it, they're either easily forgotten. Who saw that Birds of Prey movie anyway? You can forget things like that exist. So, and within the context of the universe, because we've got Zack Snyder. Again, I wouldn't call Zack Snyder a visionary, but he does understand how to make those movies, and he understands what makes those characters tick. And his take on setting up the DC universe on the big screen was rock solid, absolutely rock solid. So solid that the foundations are all still there for them. Yeah. They haven't got to do much course correction at all. I said this, I think I talked about this on Wednesday.
Everything that was it. Her mother did.
They've got back Henry Cavill. I suspect that Ben Affleck, now he's clean. You bung him a few quid. I think he'd be more than happy to play Batman again.
I think so. And he might be getting a bit old. That's the only thing. He really might be getting a bit old.
But maybe.
But there's plenty of people who can play an older Batman, right? To the level of Ben Affleck.
I think this version of the DC universe we've all seen, we had the Batman, we had the Christopher Nolan trilogy, we had the George Clooney's and the Val Kilmers. We've all seen Batman of around 30. I think a Batman of between 45 and 55 as this sort of, as the kind of Tony Stark of a DC universe is absolutely the right way to go, because you can start bringing some of the Robins through. You can have so much fun with a family behind it.
What I would do, and they seem to be set up, they could do it easily with the Flash movie, is introduce multiverse. They'd do the multiverse of DC, and then I would do like a Gotham by Gaslight. I'll do the Aaron Aronofsky. We went to Black Batman.
I'd love a film of. I'd forget about the Justice League for the time being, but I would like a film of Batman and the Outsiders with Metamorpho and Katana. Katana's already been in the Suicide Squad. People like that character. I'd bring her over. Geoforce. That original era of the Outsiders when Jim Aparo was.
Yeah. I know exactly. I read that. That was a good run. That was a that was a good run. I mean,
Black Lightning.
I see the Batman Deathstroke movie with Joe, whatever his name,
Montana. I'd love that too. But again, they could do that. They could absolutely do that as a standalone thing. In fact, Affleck's still got that script. I can't see Matt Reeves. They're going to push on with this Matt Reeves stuff. They should really
exit. They should really just exit.
I agree. They should put that down to experience.
It doesn't really work. It's people only went to see it because there's nothing else on, right? I don't think it's going to get people going back to it. I just don't.
I don't think Robert Pattinson's invested that much either. Go on, sorry, carry on.
Halloween Ends, couldn't care less. What about you?
I've got all of those to watch on Blu-ray. I've been saving them up until it was complete, and watch it as a sort of series. So I know I've deliberately stayed away from all reviews and trailers. I don't know anything about those new Halloween films, so I stay well clear. But I have heard the Smile film's good though.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. Also, I never heard of it.
Lots of bus posters and stuff for that movie in this country.
Okay.
Looks sinister.
And then they really like the Timothée Chalamet movie. They said that gets a 5 out of 5. No idea if we can trust them or not, boy. I'm in the dirt. Neptune. Okay, don't know any of these things. Not interested in any of them. I wouldn't spend any time on any of these. Go away. Oh my God, how did they get that 4 out of 5? What are they saying?
Oh, there you go. That's how much you can trust these reviewers.
Exactly. The Rings of Power is famously the most expensive TV show ever made. Whether there's a degree of marketing hyperbole to that claim or not, it certainly looks like you could make an entire season of Doctor Who on the prosthetic nose budget alone. Not really. It didn't look that good at all. I'm sorry. Then again, with Peter Jackson's movie trilogy to live up to, it was never going to get away with doing things cheaply. It doesn't look that great. So was it worth it? No. After the first few episodes, the jury is still out. Early on, the prehistory of Lord of the Rings set in the Second Age of Middle Earth certainly looks spectacular, but it's slow, unfocused, and sprawling. What about the main character who's shit, right? With far too many bland characters, like the main one, swamped by a lush, highly detailed production design. Well, okay, it seems to be broken into truth there. So how's it getting 4 out of 5? It seems that a show about a bunch of different fantasy races wandering about doing stuff. That's what it is. However, it turns out to be a rare beast, a TV show that actually improves. No, it doesn't. Confident to go on a slow burn approach. No, fuck off. Okay, fuck off.
This reads to me, just even in your sort of summary there of what they've said, that sounds to me like a reviewer who's trying to blow smoke up their arses. It's like reading something in code as if to say, don't watch this, but they've clearly been paid. They've probably had access. They've been paid to give it a decent review. Yeah, don't say this is tripe. So they're doing everything they can to avoid the truth. How much are they giving the Power of the Doctor there, for God's sake?
I know, listen, but 2.5 is a pretty bad rating.
Yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah.
And then they like She-Hulk because whatever.
When She-Hulk is better than Doctor
Who. So a lot of people like She-Hulk. She-Hulk's very popular. Normies like She-Hulk a lot.
Do they really?
They were like, yes, it's fine.
I don't know anybody who's watched it.
Oh yeah, it's the only thing people watch in the MCU from the Normies. Yeah, none of these things are really doing anything for me. What is this?
I've not even heard of either of those shows. Is that Adrian Brody?
What is that? Is that a duck person?
It looks like a
For
duck.
both half of this cruise ship horror comedy journey, you feel like disembarking at the next call, but stick with it. Okay, no. Chapel Waits season 1. Why does he always look like that? Adrian Brody. Like, why is this your default expression in everything? Stop. Okay, things aren't so bad, mate.
Yeah, introverted and interesting.
Right. If you like horror, this actually really doesn't do it for me at all. Bunch of like weird horror movies, like obscure horror movies from the 60s.
Oh, okay.
And they like that French thing, Incredible but True. I'm not interested. Yeah, not interested in any of these things. Candle for the Devil. I can't remember that one. I do remember that. I think I've seen it. But it's just like, it's just not my thing. If it's your thing, it's your thing. Ghost Watch. Oh my God. They got Ghost Watch out on Blu-ray. Piss off.
Yeah, Matt Potts.
Shit then.
Matt Potts saw it. I know people love it a lot, and I saw it once, and I was never particularly impressed. You know, and even though Sarah Green's in it, and I've always thought Sarah Green was lovely.
It was shit then. What can you do? Highlander's out again. Yay.
I'm probably going to get that.
Vesper. What's this?
Ooh, no, I've not heard that either.
This one's it's from 78. Despot. Yeah, Dave Carradine's in it. It's download and in selected cinemas. French, Belgian, Lithuanian. Yeah, what a shock! I haven't heard of it. See, this is why, I don't know why I still get this magazine. There's nothing in it that interests me.
There's a lot of old nonsense in this. Yeah, if this is their review section.
Old boring stuff and current boring stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there's a lot of it about. You won't be alone. Hocus Pocus 2. Why? Why would oh God? It's just so stupid. Werewolf by Night might be good. No, I'm not going to give it a chance. No. All this go away. Not interested. Not interested. I'm just not.
Yeah, I always skip the books.
The Font of Wizarding graphics. This looks quite interesting, but that's because I'm interested in graphics.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Garth Marenghi's Terratome. That sounds kind of funny. Dark Marenghi's Dark Place is supposed to be quite good. I never saw it.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah, I think you'd like that. Yeah.
Everybody's told me I would.
Yeah, you probably would.
Yeah, again, the illustrated Rise. Oh, this actually looks quite good.
The Rise of the Dragon. What's that?
It looks like a
Is that another Targaryen thing that I just?
Yeah. Entry level version of George R. R. Martin's Game of Thrones tome Fire and Blood. It's the same Targaryen only history, but simplifies language and structure. The timeline remains Aegon's conquest to Aegon III Dragonbane. Loses some of George's style and wit, but is much easier to dip in and out of. The useful guide to the House of Dragon newbies. All the spoilers of season 1 and beyond can be found. Includes 180 epic illustrations. That's what it sold on, with 38 different artists. The art involves a lot of dragon stuff, but also the kings and queens of castle. That's what they're selling that book on, right? It's essentially a coffee table Game of Thrones book, or House of the Dragon book. What's this? Doctor Who and the Dalek. Oh yeah, the reissue in with the.
That's the illustrated one again.
Right. I mean, honestly, but they should be reviewing some more like indie title things. Black Adam, not interested.
No, that's what you know. What that's it. That's what strikes me, because I've looked at a few of these. I stopped buying SFX years ago, and we've looked at a few of these on screen when I've come on Thursdays. And you've just hit the nail on the head. Everything in this genre, in this sector, all these things that we talk about has got so much more interesting in the last 10 to 15 years with self-publishing, with Kickstarters, and comics and things like that. You would never know that any of that was happening flicking through this magazine.
I mean, again, why isn't there a review? Like, it should be an article on the Phil Bevan book.
It's
Like,
also painfully normy. And I know that you can pick this up in Tesco's and stuff like that. Maybe that's their niche, I don't know. But I think that they're missing a real trick here. Where's the fun stuff? You know, I'm not going to big up Doctor Who magazine because they've dropped the ball as well. But at least they look at YouTube. At least they look at action figures and cosplayers and stuff like that. You would never think that this was covering something that geek interest stuff was still so big and expanding. You would never know it looking at this.
Right. And like, I'm just flicking through this. I'm bored. Right. And there is fun things out there. There's a lot of fun things out there.
This magazine looks 20 years out of date. What? This magazine looks 20 years out of date.
It does. It looks. That's exactly right. It absolutely does. That creepy kids now. I'm always bad at this. In Jerry Anderson's Joe 90s, what's the surname of the titular schoolboy? I have no idea. What do you have any idea?
In what? Sorry.
In Joe 90, what's Joe 90's last name?
Can't remember.
I have no idea. Like, I have no idea whatsoever. That's beyond my pay grade, right? Fine, there we go. Doink. Avatar 2. Yeah, look, we tried to be excited about that earlier. Not so much, right? Not so much. Now they're starting the Doctor Who stuff already. Right, I bet they're getting a lot more juice from RTD, don't you?
Well, they been running features on his Dark Materials quite a lot as well, so they'll probably have some sort of access to that. They've always been in with Bad Wolf.
From Total Recall is awesome. They are correct.
Yeah, God, look at those sets, aren't they beautiful?
Yeah, right.
Sets, costumes, the colour.
It's a really. Have you seen it recently? The Black Hole.
Not for years. I keep waiting for a Blu-ray to come out.
It's there is a Blu-ray out, right? There's a so I watched it in HD. It's how can I explain it? It's done parallel to Star Wars, right? So it's made the same time as Star Wars, and it should have been the visionary sci-fi movie. It's like really good James Bond-esque special effects. Right, but it's not Star Wars. It doesn't have that lived-in aesthetic.
No,
like Star Wars
in my head, I'm picturing it now, and it does. It's got that Ken Adam look to the sets, doesn't it?
Right, it's all clean and squeaky and things like that. It's cool. You like Maximilian. You liked the little floating robot thing. Like all that design is cool, but it's so dated, and it's the top of its game with that type of special effect.
Mate, I have to laugh. You remember what I said when we talked about this before, about SFX? We go down the rant and raves, and everybody on staff is an editor. Editor at large, transatlantic editor. Here we've got Dave Bradley, former editor. So they've even got people who don't.
Right.
Everyone's an editor, even people who used to do the job. So he means just a writer. But they can't put just a writer. It's going to be, a former editor. What a bunch of... Yeah, this magazine, they need a rocket up their arse on this title. They really do.
They you know what they need? Like a Gary.
They need us. They need you. Yeah. They need me. They need you. They need us.
People who like science fiction, writing it, and like can have more than one worldview. Oh my God. So yeah, this magazine, I would say is not a recommend. Sadly, but the only article I've seen so far that I want to read is let me look through the thumbnails of everything. I'll read the 2-page Alan Moore article. I would read this thing, the Maximilian. So we got one. The reviews. I might read the reviews on a video or something, like as content.
It's good that there's still a magazine around that looks at books, that looks at sci-fi literature. But my God, this magazine looks. I mean, I pick it up now and again in the supermarket, and the paper quality is so wafer thin. It's like £6.
Oh, I only buy the.
And it looks put together on autopilot.
That's 2 pages, and Maximilian, and then I would read the Wednesday Adam article. That's another 3 pages, 6 pages so far. How much more? I'm up to 6 pages.
It's not a good average, is it?
100-page magazine.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
I don't know.
Yeah, time's up for SFX, I think. Right, I have got to. I've got to get on. I've got to go and work out before I watch a movie or something. And but yeah, I hope to catch up with you again in the week, mate. Thanks for inviting me on.
Very good. Thanks for coming on. I'm about to wrap up as well. I think it's yes. I'm tired. Yeah, cool. It's getting it's 9 o'clock for me.
Well, I'll speak to you. I'll speak to you in the next few days sometime. And thanks to everybody who's been listening to my nonsense. Catch you later, everybody. Bye bye.
Toodle pip. Very good, very good. I will follow the example of the erstwhile Dan. I'm going to hit the end broadcast button. Thank you for joining tonight. I'm going to hit